All right. Hey, the last couple of last month, was the first time I ever heard SPM, and I've been reacting to a lot of his music because I find it extremely appealing. But yet I literally don't know who he is as a person, or I know nothing about him outside of his music. I know within his music he's a bloody comedian, right? That drops bars, right? So, yo, if this interests you, yo, let's get it, yo.
Me, I got a motherfucking hot ass beer. We in the motherfucking studio. We're gonna grab the rap game and dig deep in the booty hole.
Before South
That's the comedian we know.
Park Mexicans swept the 2000 Houston Press Music Awards with tracks like You Know My Name, paving the way for other Latino hardcore rappers.
I walk, gotta teach myself to crawl. I started off small, now I'm stronger than the law.
Before SPM worked with Little Rashid, Low G, and founded his label Dope House Records, bringing his estimated net worth to $5 million.
For all children, you know, I'm just trying to do my thing. God put me here for something.
Before South Park Mexican made headlines in 2002 when he was charged with sexual assaulting his daughter's 9-year-old friend and sentenced to 45 years in jail.
That God's going to use this situation to save me from what I was.
Before SPM continued to cause controversy when he kept releasing albums and even music videos from behind bars.
Hurting people is so wrong, I say to them, do what you gotta do, but what if it were you?
South Park Mexican came from a broken home and was moved around to a bunch of different schools as a kid. His siblings...
Yeah, we've heard a lot of songs from him while he was still in jail. Let's get it.
Were 6 years older than him, helping SPM grow up quick and learn how to navigate the streets. But after a dope deal gone wrong and the birth of his daughter, he'd have to take the skills he picked up hustling and try them in a new game. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael McCredden, documenting the life and career of South Park Mexican prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. We've covered other Houston artists, including DJ Screw. Be sure to check that one out. But in the meantime, let us know in the comment section down below who you want me to document next.
Dude, that photo of Kim Kardashian is crazy, bro. Okay. I think there's a famous saying, what is it? You're not ugly, you're just poor. Or you're just broke. I think that's the saying, dude. Damn.
Come on, man. Come on, roll with us.
But she was never broke. Her father was Rob Kardashian. Let's get it.
Come on, man. Come on, roll with us.
South Park Mexican was born Carlos Coy on October 5th, 1970 in Houston, Texas. His mother dropped out of school to marry his father Arturo, who was in the Marines. His siblings Sylvia and Arthur Jr. were 6 years older than him and had a big part in raising little Carlos. Not long into the marriage, their parents divorced, forcing the kids to move around a lot and go to several different schools, one of which was Welch Middle School, where Carlos first started playing music. From there, they'd moved to a town that would later become part of Carlos' stage name and became an even more famous TV show.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Buscan trabajo? ¿Trabajo?
Sí, nos dejan trabajar, sí.
Yes, Carlos was now living in an area of South Houston called South Park. Luckily, the show was a good 20 years away from coming out, so the Hispanics that lived there had some time before they'd had to put up with jokes, all the time.
There's a heap of Mexicans out there who want nothing more than to sneak past our border, and we gotta stop them.
While at Woodson Middle School, he met Brad Jordan, who would go on to become the
Scarface
rapper Scarface. Carlos got caught committing his first crime.
Wait, is Scarface from Texas?
By the age of 10, and would continue to hustle as he got older. He graduated and went to Milby High School, but his hardened attitude from the streets didn't translate well in class. He was expelled in his first year for assaulting a female student, and after went to an alternative school. He spent years trying to get past the 9th grade, but finally gave up and dropped out when he was 17. He gave school one more try and tried to get his GED, hoping to get into a business degree at college. He actually managed to get into San Jacinto Junior College, but ended up failing all his classes.
Pretty much raised in a fucked up environment.
Hey, school isn't for some people, and Carlos gave the straight and narrow a go for a while. Working for minimum wage, selling perfume door to door at a chemical plant, It was hard, it was thankless work, and after his skin broke out in rashes, Carlos decided to stick with dealing crack. The money was good, but after the birth of his daughter and a deal gone wrong, Carlos knew he needed a new career.
So basically what I'm getting from this is that he obviously had a rough life, which was obvious from his music, right? That was obvious. And his life basically molded himself, and the birth of his daughter created this entity known as South Park Mexican. This is basically what I'm understanding about him as of now, right?
Because drugs are bad, okay?
He then pulled a 180 and gave Christian rap a go. Now I'm not sure how Jesus would feel about this, you know, the guy slings crack, but I can't imagine he'd be
He did like Christian rap. Are there any songs like from him when he did that? I would love to hear like the early stuff.
too pleased. It turns out others were just as confused by the choice, making Carlos feel like an outsider in the genre. In '94, he changed up the content and started recording under South Park Mexican.
And as soon as they got a taste of that CD, as soon as they tasted that dope, they wanted more of it, so they had to have the whole CD, you know.
He was determined to make it even though he had never rapped before, but he did have enough money to get some distribution going. The next year, he and his brother started their own label, Dope House Records, and SPM released his first album, Hillwood. He'd work hard pushing his CDs for the next 2 years, but didn't get too far off of it. Finally, in 1997, he decided to try releasing a new album, and in a few months he had Hustle Town ready to go. Out in March of 1998, his new hardcore style was a hit in the underground Houston rap scene. Carlos was driven and kept his fans happy by pumping out more content, with his third album, Power Moves, The Table, getting noticed in mainstream media. Then in November 1999, he released his next album, The Third Wish, to rock the world, with his strongest lead single yet.
The wagon, Dickie still sagging, blow more smoke than Puff, the dragon.
Hi, so
I have never heard that song. Whatever the name of that song was, let me know in the comments, please.
So High became SPM's first single to chart on the Billboard, and had
Wait, he just said the name of it. I think he said it was So High, potentially?
So High became SPM's
So High.
first single to chart on the Billboard, and had major labels scrambling to sign on the Houston rapper. Universal Music gave him $500,000 to co-sign his label and took his distribution to a whole new level. As for the rest of the story, well, that's where we end things, because this is before they're famous. If you want to know more of the story, be sure to request it in the comments down below. That's what we will do, and after they're famous,
we're gonna cut
talk
here. All right, and now we're just gonna fast forward basically to the part 2, the after he was famous aspect of it. All right, let's go.
Who said money didn't grow on trees? I came up slinging them cocoa leaves.
After South Park Mexican gave up slinging crack for selling mixtapes, becoming one of the biggest Mexican influences in rap history.
Hey, and he started off. You know why? Because I beat him in ping pong, nigga.
After SPM founded Dope House Records with his brother and signed up rappers like Twin Verdez, Rashid, Low G, Lucky Luciano, and Juan Gotti. After co-signing with Universal for $500,000 and getting nationwide distribution, bringing his net worth to $5 million.
So many hating. If you pay attention to it, it'll occupy all your fucking time.
After South Park Mexican would host a sleepover with his daughter and one of her friends, that ended up with him getting charged with sexually assaulting a 9-year-old.
We gotta definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids, it's no good diddling kids.
Yeah, long before MJ faced kid diddling charges, SPM was accused of sexual assaulting a minor just when he was at the top of his game. But lack of physical proof with convenient circumstances had people divided on how they felt when the court sentenced him to 45 years behind bars. Was SPM being brought to justice, or was this another case of greedy families milking a cash cow?
Yeah, I think that's more like it. Yeah.
Opinions are divided, but the courts have already made their decision. At the time of this recording, SPM has served 14 years in prison, and despite the fact that it is illegal for him to profit off his music, while in jail he continues to put out new material.
Hurting people is so wrong, I say to them, do what you gotta do, but what if it were you?
What's going on, guys? My name's Michael McCrudden, documenting the life of South Park Mexican after his fame, here for you on After They Were Famous. We did it before they were famous on this Houston rapper, detailing his rise to fame, and it was pretty popular, so we decided to continue telling this story. As always, be sure to let us know in the comment section down below who you want me to document next.
like I said, I just really wanted to make sure the world knew that I'm not the man the state of Texas wants you to believe I am, you know. We're talking about a 9-year-old little girl.
Carlos Coy was born on October 5th, 1970 in Houston, Texas. His parents divorced when he was young, forcing Carlos to move around constantly, eventually settling in South Park. Not the Colorado basin made famous by the animated television show. We're talking about South Park, Texas, located in the south central area of Houston. He tried the traditional path of going to school and working mixed jobs, but soon turned to dealing crack instead. Business was booming, but after the birth of his daughter, he decided to switch up his career path and begin making music as a Christian rapper. Kinda like this, but not exactly.
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my nigga.
He adopted his township's name for his moniker, going as South Park Mexican, and opened the label Dopest Records with his brother back in '95. Within 4 years, he was an idol in the underground rap world and broke through to the mainstream with the single High So High.
I'm a dog like Scrappy. My girl tried to slap me. Got her by the hand and told her don't get happy.
His label was one of the fastest growing at the time, and soon Universal was offering him $500,000 to co-sign with that. They also secured national distribution for his future albums. Things were looking good, but if more money means more problems, SPM was in for a doozy. The story goes that SPM's ex was trying to get in on his fortune and looking for ways to take him down. Her daughter, who grew up with his daughter Carly, went over for a sleepover one night where the girls watched some scary movies together. 10 days later, SPM was being accused of sexually assaulting the 9-year-old.
Come on, bro.
Carlos insists he was innocent of molesting his daughter's 9-year-old friend.
Now SPM is no...
Yo, if you don't know what a setup looks like, this is what a setup looks like, bro.
Saint, but his friends from the block stood by his side, stating there was no way he was a kid diddler. There's no evidence to support the charge, but a previous slip-up would have the rapper dead in the water. 8 years earlier, SPM was dating a girl who was just 14 years young. Rumor has it that she was working as an exotic dancer and claimed that she was 18. He knocked her up and offered to marry her after the birth of their son, but her parents refused. SPM claimed he was unaware of her age and continued to support them both financially, despite the fact that they never tied the knot. Even though him and his baby mama were on good terms, his ex was able to use this past to take him to court, where he was now facing 2 charges. Soon enough, 7 other teenage girls came forward saying SPM had molested them as well. Now facing a life sentence, the press couldn't get to Harris County fast enough to demonize the successful Latino rapper.
South Park Mexican, the Houston rapper, 45 years in prison for sexually assaulting a 9-year-old little girl.
On the stand, the victim said she wasn't sure if SPM actually touched her or if it was a dream from all the horror movies they had watched that night. Later, she changed her mind and said it did happen. On the stand, SPM said he wasn't guilty and that the other 17s who came forward were told to lie by prosecutors.
Well, the fact is that there is only one victim.
That's exactly how it happens. Yo, this seems like, this literally looks like the making of a setup, bro. Yo, continue suggesting his music. I will continue promoting this shit, bro. Period. Let's get it.
In this case, and it is a 9-year-old girl. Now that is reality, and you need to deal with it.
On May 18, 2002, with no physical evidence to support the charge, SPM was convicted to 45 years in prison. Today, people are still divided on whether he did or did not, but his fans are convinced that this was done to silence the influential Mexican rapper. Lucky for them, SPM looked at this sentence as a chance for a new beginning. With the help of his inmates, he continued to record music while his nephew started work on a new studio. In 2006, he released the album When Devils Strike, which peaked at #2 on the US charts for top indie albums. He continued to gain fans without any radio play and released 2 more successful albums, The Last Chair Violinist and The Son of Norma. Since then, Dope House Records continues to do well, but none of that money is going to the young girl who is the victim of his charges. His loyal fans continue to protest his imprisonment, spamming Free SPM on Twitter while waiting for his retrial. That includes one of his most loyal fans, his young daughter. Who looks quite a bit like her old man. As for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see. Or keep watching. I'll keep you updated if anything changes. Because this here is After They're Famous. My name's Michael McCrudden and we make a lot of bio videos.
Listen, yo, free SPM, free SPM, free SPM, alright? What the hell is this shit about, man? I didn't know any of this right here, but like, yo, this is the perfect example of a setup, bro. Okay. But yeah, yo, you guys have an amazing day. Okay.
Say